Okay, and now I'm going to make a statement, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Harrison, who's going to give a detailed explanation, and we're going to start talking about what school could look like next year, the models that we're investigating. But I think it's time that we had a bit of a conversation as a board, and then ultimately the board and the community. We sent out a survey last week, and we got great results for a survey. It's unbelievable results. So we have 3,800 families, and we had about 1,900 responses. So that's 50%. That's unbelievable. And in terms of getting general information from the community, I think it met our needs. However, as we make real recommendations and invest real taxpayer dollars and take our cadre of workforce and divvy it up to chunks of kids doing high quality education, we need a significantly higher level of feedback. Because the reality that we're walking into is we're going to move from the theoretical, great ideas, what's out there, what are other people doing, to the practical is what can we do and what can we do best, to the applicable, which is what's going to work best for most of our students. And as we make that move, we are going to reach out school site by school site and do a second study and drill down, because when I present this survey results, you'll see that it's approximately 50-50 out there where people are at. But if you only get half of the people, 50-50 represents 25% and 25%. And I don't want to make a recommendation to this board that is wrong, because we didn't do everything we could to hear all the information and get all the details we need. So in doing so, our goal is to create optimal models. This team, this leadership team, the guidance of the board, we can do anything. And any model that we decide we want to do, we'll do well, we'll roll it out well, we'll make adjustments along the way, and kids will be taken care of. But not every model meets every chunk of kids. And so we have to get that feedback. And when we decide the model with the chunk of kids that we anticipate and the process that we run to place kids into models, we're going to do a very good job. But we have work to do to get information from the community to us, to the board, in the models that we're going to propose. And so ultimately, these models, they have to be implementable. It has to work in our district. It has to work with our organizational limitations and all the great things that we can do. And it has to meet the budgetary realities that we face. We still don't know how much money we have to run the district next year. So we are going to do an excellent job with the decisions that we make when the direction's given by the board and the team is set to work. However, we need more feedback from the community, and we are going to do an excellent effort to reach out school site by school site to gather that information. But people need to understand that if we don't get all the things we need, major impacts can happen to our culture. One, teachers could be moved school site to school sites. Students could be moved school sites to school sites because numbers have to be balanced out. Loss of school residents in the village you live in could happen to students, and families could be split. It's a possibility. There's going to be two operational fronts moving concurrently. There could be limitations to extracurricular opportunities. There could be programs that we have to cut. There has to be, all of these things have to be figured out within models. And here's another one. It's possible that if we don't have large populations at the south part of the district's schools, Hanson and Cordis, we might consolidate and move the kids into one school and run the Cordis as our distance learning or virtual learning academy. All of these things may or may not happen, but we won't be able to provide the board and the community models until we get better feedback. So I want to thank the community for their feedback. As a general survey, it was excellent. However, we're going to bring forward the best models that for the best work of the district, and we don't have enough information yet.